How's it going, everybody? Scott with Iron Sight Barbell Club here. I wanted to just kind of talk into the camera. It's January 2nd, so 2019. Brand new year, brand new me, all that fun stuff. And I thought it was important to kind of spend some time, we're talking about the business and everything, about the past, right? So why did I decide to open up a gym? Why is this even a thing that exists? And it really comes down to, it kind of grew organically. So I was in the military for 8 years, and before that, I was a real not great guy. I don't want to say that I was mean or cruel or anything like that, but I drank too much and I partied and I had real no direction in my life, and that was what I did from basically 20 all the way to 24, so about 4 years of kind of degradation on myself. And then I had some great help from some great friends that basically told me to stop being such a jerk and do something with myself. And, you know, grateful to this day for my parents who stuck with me and gave me a place to stay, even though I probably didn't deserve it. I really am appreciative, even more so now. You know, they started their own business and I've started my own business, and being able to get to where I am on their shoulders, based on what they have given me, is something that really something I think about quite often. So I joined the military 2010. I joined as a medic. I go through my medical training, Fort Sam Houston, get through basic training Fort Sill, then go to medical training Fort Sam Houston in Texas. And it's very formative. I was definitely I was thinking about this today, I was at literally my least fit in my life when I joined. And it was a struggle, and it was a struggle for a long time. I was never good at running. Even when I was doing cross country and track, I was always very slow. That just running is not my strong point. But in the Army, you do a lot of running. That's what you do. So fast forward, now I'm in my first unit, and you know, I am older than a lot of the younger soldiers who were my rank. So trying to keep up with them was difficult, and but I was a good medic. I really enjoyed the medical part of it. I really enjoyed helping people. I really enjoyed when I got to be in the clinic and figuring out what was wrong with people, and you know, you're not allowed to diagnose, but helping your PA or your doc come up with your diagnosis, and really studying anatomy and physiology and how it all fits together. I really enjoyed that part. The rest of the soldiering stuff, take it or leave it, I really didn't care too much for it. And anything mandatory for me, really, I didn't really enjoy. So like morning PT, depending on the group, but for the most part, I was never the stellar soldier. I was very, very much average, which is okay to admit. Fast forward a couple years, and my then wife, we were stationed in Hawaii, and right before we were about to leave, she got pregnant. And I'm looking at myself, and I'm looking at my habits, and I'm looking at how I'm slipping back into that same role that I had clawed myself out of so long ago, over 4 years. And I knew that I needed to change again. This time it wasn't for me. This time it was for our daughter that was to be born. So I was a smoker. I quit smoking. I would like to say that I quit drinking, but I did not. But I definitely became more aware of it and treated it as something that wasn't an everyday thing, or at least not to excess every day. I still struggle with it from time to time, but you know, that's just a constant vigilance thing. And then I was also in very bad shape. I have an issue with my hips that makes it very difficult for me to run. It hurts. It's called femoral acetabular impingement, and so like my feet would go numb when I'm running, and basically I got permission to not run anymore. And when you don't run anymore, and you have other things on your mind, and you're eating for two, even though you're not actually growing anybody, you tend to gain weight. So that's what happened. I gained weight, and I became more and more unhealthy, and I realized that I wasn't going to be able to keep up with my daughter, you know. And it was important for me to live a long time and a long, strong life, and to show her that you can be strong. So my dad came and visited us. We moved to Washington, where we're currently at. My dad and my mom came and visited us, and they have always been active and jogging and running and going to the gym. My dad lifted weights when he still does, but he was very big into it when I remember a lot of times he would be at the gym, for a couple hours after work. I never really got into it, and then he taught me a very simple routine, and I started to see results fairly quickly. And I really fell in love with the idea of being able to lift weights and also gain fitness at the same time. I tried before, but it was always the bodybuilding type split where you'd work arms and shoulders and legs, and it never really resonated with me doing these high repetitions and stuff like that. But a very simple routine. It was all in machines. It was here 10 to 15 reps, 3 sets, you're in and out within an hour, and you see substantial progress, which is great. I was really, this is amazing. So then I went and bought, I actually started reading Starting Strength from Mark Rippetoe. And as fundamentally limited as Starting Strength is, that's why it's called Starting Strength, it really gave me a grasp into something that I fell in love with. I fell in love with working with barbell. That's really what got into me, was being able to go in and lift as heavy as I could. And just like everybody else, my form was garbage when we first started out. When I first started out, it was deadlifting. I look back at my old videos and I'm like, man, I'm very glad that I did not injure myself doing all that, because I didn't have a coach, I didn't have anything, but I knew this is what I wanted to do. And then I realized that I lived 20 minutes from base, and I did not want to be going to a gym and spending 2 hours essentially, travel time, gym time, and then come home and not have any time for my kids. So I bought a Rogue fitness rack. I bought a bar, and I went on Craigslist and I bought plates and a bench and some dumbbells, and that was my garage. I had it in my garage. We had a little duplex 1-car garage, and we had the gym in there. And my daughter was born, and she would hang out with me and watch me lift, and I got to watch her grow up, and it was great. We ended up moving. We ended up buying in a house, and I had a 2-car garage. So all of a sudden now I had even more space, because I had just enough space to park her car as well as my gym equipment. So that was pretty fun. And then I got orders to deploy, and for various reasons, our marriage didn't work out, so we ended up splitting. All of my gym stuff obviously stayed, and we ended up selling the house. And when I moved out, when I got back from my deployment, this is 2017, or 2016 to 2017, I was going to be actually getting out of the military. I had made the decision. I was gonna have to move to Oklahoma, and I didn't want to do that. I didn't want either of us to be out of our child's life any more than necessary. So doing long stretches where it would be 2 months with me and 2 months with it, that just wouldn't work. So I decided to stay in Washington. We both kind of decided that would be best in the best interest of our daughter. And so I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. So I had a lot of time on deployment, and I came up with the idea for Iron Sight Barbell Club. And it was the concept of putting a barbell in everyone's hands was really what I wanted to do. That's my ultimate goal, is to have everyone realize that you can be strong and you can do these things, and it doesn't matter where you start, it matters that you start. And I was training people while we were deployed, and they all put a whole bunch of weight onto their totals and had better form and really fell in love with it. So I got out, I got into another house, I bought some more equipment with the proceeds from the house, and opened up my little gym in my garage. I had 2 squat racks, I had a bunch of dumbbells, I eventually got a competition bench. So I had 3 squat racks, 3 benches, a whole set of dumbbells, and I managed to fit it all into basically a 400 square foot space. It was, and to the deadlift platforms. It was pretty great, and I really enjoyed it. I didn't have many clients. I didn't know how to market. I didn't know the first thing about being a business, and I was going to school for massage therapy at the same time, so I didn't really concentrate on it. And then coming towards the end, I got involved in a coaching, basically a program, a business program that gives you a blueprint for building a gym, and it took off. And I was renting the house, and I was in an HOA, and the HOA said, you can't do that anymore. So I got some funding together, and I put together Iron Sight Barbell Club, and we have been going, I'm not gonna say going strong ever since. And I have a hugely loyal community of amazing people that have been helping me since day one. And we built this place out ourselves, me and my partner Gary. And it's just been such an experience to have everything kind of come together. And I really enjoy what I do, and I really, it doesn't matter if I have poured everything into this. I have gone all in. I have been holding nothing back. And my light just went out. So I've been, dang. So I've been holding nothing back, and I've been going all in. And so that's just how I have been living my life for the past 6 months. I couldn't ask for anything more. And whether I succeed or it ends up going under, it doesn't matter. I will rebuild and build even better and learn from my mistakes and keep going forward. And so with that in mind, it's pretty late. I had stayed here past closing to do this video because one of my 2019 goals is to put out videos and to make sure that I have content. So I want to thank everybody who has supported me. I want to thank all of my members. You guys are awesome. And I wanted to thank everyone that in the future will come to either this channel for advice or come to me for advice or train at the gym. I'm hoping to make this into kind of a must-stop place for the Pacific Northwest, because I don't really think we have that yet, and I want it to be like the other gyms that I watch on YouTube. I want it to be a place of strength, and I want it to be a place where people want to go to train because they want to train with strong people. So with that in mind, thank you very much for watching. Go ahead and click the thumbs up button. I really appreciate it. Click the thumbs up button for needing to replace even more lights. I hate heights. I'm not looking forward to getting up there. Thank you very much. Be sure to subscribe. I promise content. I will be sending it out there into the universe. With that in mind, thank you from the bottom of my heart, and have a wonderful 2019. Bye.